Good evening, students. So today we will be learning plant tissue, a part of tissue chapter. So before starting with the tissue part, let us recall some basic informations about cells. The cells are the basic structural and functional unit of life. Cells divide to form multiple cells. A group of cells which is organized and specialized to perform particular functions in the body of an organism is called a tissue. A group of tissue which is organized and specialized to perform some particular functions in the body of an organism is called organs, as you can see in the figure. And similarly, an organs form organ system, and an organ system as a whole makes an organism. A body performs various life activities such as respiration, movement, etc. All these functions are divided amongst different body parts. Or in other words, we can say this is division of labor. So each part is specialized to perform certain specific functions. Such cells which perform certain specific functions are grouped together to form a tissue. Then plant tissue and animal tissue. It is needed for both plants and animals to perform certain life processes for the survival. However, the structure of plant and animal tissues is quite different. This is largely because of the functions they perform and the type of lifestyle they live in. As you all know, plants, they don't move from places to places. They make their own food. Whereas animals, they move from places to places in search of their own food. So this type of and some other functions, these functions and the type of changes in the lifestyle is much responsible for the type of tissues they have. Now let's come to the difference between plants and animal tissues. Then plant tissue. In plant tissues, plants possess more dead supportive tissue as plants are less mobile, whereas animals possess more living tissues, hence they require more energy. Plants grow throughout the year because they have meristematic tissues, whereas animals grow up to a limited length of time. Then structural organization of plants is simple and structural organization of animals is complex. Now coming to plant tissues, which is our part which we will be studying. Then types of plant tissues. As you can see the hierarchy divided here. Plant tissue is divided into meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue is again divided into apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. And permanent tissue is further divided into simple permanent tissue, complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue is again divided into three types: parenchyma, sclerenchyma, and collenchyma. And complex permanent tissue is again divided into two types: xylem and phloem. As you can see by the side figure, that it shows it is a complete figure of all the tissues in plant. Then coming to meristematic tissue. Meristematic tissue or meristems are tissues that have the ability to enlarge, stretch, and differentiate into other types of cells as they mature. The characteristics are: the cells of this tissue are generally young and immature with the power of continuous division. Meristematic cells are all living cells. The meristematic cells can be oval, rounded, or polygonal in shape. They have large nucleus with no vacuoles. Intercellular space between cells is absent. The cells are also small in size but have a high capacity of cell division. As you can see in the side figure, it shows the types of meristematic tissues: an apical meristem, intercalary meristem, and lateral meristem. Then what is apical meristem? These meristems are located on the tip of the root or stem, etc. They help in the growth of the shoot system as well as the root system. The various cell division along with cellular enlargement help in the growth of the stem. Then intercalary meristems. The intercalary meristems are located in the internodes or the base of the leaves. The intercalary meristems help in increasing the length of the internode. This is usually seen in the monocotyledon seeds. Then lateral meristems. The lateral meristems are present on the lateral side of the stem and root of a plant. The meristems help in increasing the thickness of the plants. The vascular cambium and the cork cambium are good examples of lateral meristematic tissues. Then coming to permanent tissues. In simple words, when the cells of the meristematic tissues have lost their ability to divide, they gradually become differentiated to perform specific functions. That is, when the meristematic tissue matures, it becomes permanent tissues. These cells acquire a permanent shape and size, and such group of cells are called permanent tissues. Its characteristics are permanent tissues in plants are those that contain non-dividing cells. They perform some specific functions that derived from the meristematic tissue, are fully differentiated, a large and definite shape and size. You can see the intercellular spaces between them. Large vacuoles are present inside these cells. The metabolism that occurs in the cells of the permanent tissue is fairly at a low rate. The permanent tissue is in plants mainly helps in providing support, protection. It also helps in photosynthesis, conduction of water, minerals, and nutrients. But permanent tissue cells may be living or dead. Then coming to the first type of permanent tissue, the simple permanent tissue. The tissues are simple, they're made up of only one type of cell. Here all the cells that make up the tissue are similar and have the same structure with the same type parts. Similar permanent tissues are again classified into three main types: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Then coming to parenchyma. Parenchyma is extracted from two words. Para means beside, enchyma means fill. This is the simplest tissue, widely distributed in different parts of the plant's body, such as stem, root, leaves, fruits, and flowers. As you can see from the diagram, the structure of the parenchyma tissue. Then the characteristics. The cells are isodiametric. Cells may have oval, spherical, or polygonal shape. Cytoplasm is peripheral and large. Central vacuole is seen. Cell wall is thin and composed of cellulose. The cells are loosely packed. Intercellular spaces are seen. Then occurrence or location. Parenchyma is found in all parts of the plant, such as the cortex, pith, the mesophyll, the flower, the seed, etc. It is also found in the vascular tissues. What is its function? Photosynthesis. Chlorenchyma contains chloroplast, which helps in photosynthesis. Storage. Parenchyma cells store food in the form of starch, protein, oils, and fats. It helps the aquatic plants to maintain its buoyancy or to float. It helps in secreting resins, latex, or tannins or oils. Parenchyma also helps in transportation of nutrition and water. It provides a mechanical support as well. Then coming to collenchyma. Collenchyma is derived from two words, colla and enchyma. As you can see, colla means glue, enchyma means fill. It is a soft living tissue that provides flexibility to soft aerial parts of the plant, such as the leaves, stems, etc. Characteristics. The cells are completely packed together and intercellular spaces are absent. Cell wall is thin and made up of cellulose. As you can see from the side picture, uneven thickening of pectin material at the corners is seen. Shape, each cell is somewhat elongated. Functions, it provides mechanical support. It also it contains chloroplast and carries out photosynthesis. Then what are its occurrence or location? It is found in the leaves, stems, or other aerial parts of the plants. Then coming to sclerenchyma. Sclerose means hard, enchyma means fill. It consists of thick walled dead cells with a narrow lumen. The secondary cell wall is formed due to deposition of lignin, which makes the cell wall even harder. Characteristics, it is a dead tissue, elongated. It is elongated and pointed at both ends. The cell wall is thickened and lignified. The cell lacks protoplasm. It gives strength and rigidity to the plant body, as you can see from the side figure. Functions. It provides mechanical support. It is made up of dead and lignified cells which provide support to the plants. It provides hardness to the stony fruits such as nuts, coconuts, almonds, etc. Occurrence, it occurs inside xylem and phloem. It is hard and also in the hard seed covering, in the husks of coconut, etc. Then difference between parenchyma and collenchyma tissue. In parenchyma, the cell wall is seen. In collenchyma, uneven thickening of cell wall over the corner is seen. In parenchyma, the cells are isodiametric. In collenchyma, cells are elongated. In parenchyma, it occurs in almost all parts of the plant. Collenchyma, it occurs in aerial parts of the plant. Parenchyma, the cells store food and waste products. Collenchyma, the cells provide mechanical strength and rigidity to plant parts. Then difference between collenchyma and sclerenchyma. The cell wall is soft as only primary cell wall occurs. Here the cell wall is hard as the presence of secondary cell wall. The cells are living in protoplasm is seen, and in sclerenchyma, dead cells have narrow lumen is seen. Collenchyma, it makes plant part flexible. Sclerenchyma, it makes plant part hard. Collenchyma, the cell wall is unevenly thickened. Sclerenchyma, cell wall is uniformly thicker due to lignin deposition. Then coming to complex permanent tissues. Complex permanent tissues is composed of two or more than two types of cells and contribute to common function. It is also known as vascular tissue. Complex permanent tissues again classified into two main types, the xylem and phloem. Coming to xylem. Xylem is also known as wood. It is a water and mineral conducting tissue in vascular plants. As you can see from the figure, the xylem figure. Functions. The function of xylem is to transport water and minerals from the root to the leaves of the plants. It also provides support to the plant. Xylem is composed of four types of cells: tracheids, vessels, xylem fibers, and xylem parenchyma. And tracheids. Tracheids are elongated cells with tapering ends. They are dead cells with lignified cell wall. Function. It also helps in conducting water, minerals from the roots to leaves, and also provides mechanical support. Types: it is annular, spiral, reticular, and pitted. And vessels. Vessels are long, cylindrical tube-like dead cells. Vessels are main element of xylem for conduction. Xylem fibers. They are sclerenchymatous cell. They are dead cells. They provide mechanical support. Xylem parenchyma. They are parenchymatous cells. They are living cells, and they help in storage of food in form of starch or fat. Then coming to phloem. Phloem is also called bast. It is a food conducting tissue. As you can see from the side figure, phloem is responsible for conduction of transport of organic food synthesized by the parts of the plant, synthesized by the leaves to different parts of the plant. It also provides support to plants. Phloem is composed of four types of cells: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and bast fibers. Then sieve tubes. They are tube-like structure composed of elongated cells arranged by end to end. Sieve elements or cell-like nucleus. It helps to transport of organic food from leaves to different parts. Then companion cells. They are thin-walled, elongated living cells. Each cell contains large nucleus. Companion cells are present only in the angiosperm. It provides support to sieve cell in conduction of food. Then phloem parenchyma. They are living parenchymatous cells. It helps in storage of food in form of starch or fat. It also stores tannin and resins. Then bast fibers. They are sclerenchymatous cells. They are dead cells, and it provides mechanical support. Then difference between xylem and phloem. Xylem conducts water in inorganic solutes. Phloem, it conducts organic solutes. Xylem, conduction of substances occur in upward direction only. Phloem, it occurs in both directions. Xylem, only xylem parenchyma is living, all others are dead cells. In phloem, only phloem fibers is dead, all others are living cells. In xylem, they provide mechanical support to plant. Phloem, it does not provide any mechanical strength to the plant. Xylem, conduction occurs in tracheary elements. Phloem, conduction occurs in sieve tubes. Now coming to the difference between meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue, the cells divide repeatedly. In permanent tissue, the cells are derived from meristematic tissue and don't divide normally. In meristematic tissue, the cells are undifferentiated. In permanent tissue, the cells are fully differentiated. Then in meristematic tissue, the cells are small and isodiametric. In permanent tissue, the cells are variable in shape and size. In meristematic tissue, intercellular spaces are generally absent. In permanent tissue, conspicuous intercellular spaces are present. In meristematic tissue, vacuoles are absent. In permanent tissue, large vacuoles are present in mature cells. In meristematic tissue, metabolism occurs at high rate. In permanent tissue, metabolism occurs at low rate. Here the cell walls are thin. Here the cell walls may be thick or thin. Here it is a simple tissue. It is a simple or complex tissue. As you know, the PDF to this note has been attached to the description. You can download it over there. And any doubt, you can ask over WhatsApp. Thank you.